All right, cool. Let's jump into our top stories of the week. We'll go with yours first. Yours was Cash App is making nearly 10% APR on its Bitcoin via Lightning. Um, what's this?
Yeah, so CashApp runs an LSP called C equals, and I think they have something like 170 Bitcoin deployed to that Lightning node. Um, and I guess they also have a bunch of engineers working on optimizing it and making it efficient and make them as much money as possible. And they're earning nearly 10% yield on their Bitcoin, non-custodially running a Lightning node, running a routing node, which is, a big deal. If you have 170 Bitcoin, they're earning 17 Bitcoin a year by
Gosh.
running a Lightning node, really well run routing node. And it probably costs them quite a bit to hire the engineers and stuff, but they're learning a lot. And I guess that excludes Ryan Gentry in the thread. I think he talked to Miles after his presentation, but Ryan Gentry said that it excludes Cash App's like withdrawals from Cash App. So this is just C equals um, the LSP that is being used outside, like beyond Cash App, ends up making this much money. Um, and so it was probably one of the biggest pieces of news I feel like at the conference, at least for Lightning adjacent folks. It's kind of evidence that um, running Lightning nodes if they're run really really well. Uh, and we talked about the Amboss announcement, but the Amboss announcement is said it was related because they're basically trying to provide that type of yield as a service by paying them to run a Lightning node for you that you have the keys on, like you have on a service like Voltage, and they're going to optimize. They're going to use AI and stuff to optimize the channel management and stuff and try to earn you yield. They don't promise 10%, but they predict they'll be able to earn you like 1 to 4% yield by running a Lightning node efficiently, um, a Lightning routing node efficiently. Anyway, it's just, I think, for me, it really caught me off guard. Most people, I think, at this point had assumed that there was no real money being made on Lightning except in a few remote cases where someone had like inside knowledge about liquidity demand on a service. Um, and maybe that still applies here. Maybe this is not generalizable, but maybe it is. Maybe maybe we'll have JP Morgan running Lightning nodes to earn yield on Bitcoin. Maybe rather than like rehypothecating Bitcoin that are taken as collateral for loans, it is rehypothecated into a Lightning routing node and used to make yield on a Lightning routing node rather than being lent out or spent somewhere else where it's harder to control.
See, that actually makes more sense. Like to me, those are the financial products that we should be making as Bitcoiners, not like not like not these other products that we're making right now, turning them into securities and doing these other things. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Um, anyway, that was my top story. I just thought it was big
So,
news. ten
so
percent per year on Bitcoin. That's a lot.
do you think because you talked about this, I want to say it was like 2 months ago, or maybe it was a month ago, you were saying, I don't know, you probably don't even remember saying this, but you were saying that in the future you do think that there will be some sort of like you thought that there would be some sort of thing where you could just put your money into.
Yeah.
Do you remember saying that? You were saying like, yeah, and you
Yeah.
would just put your money into this thing and then like it would just automatically. Can you talk about that again real quick? Do you remember what I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yeah. So
about?
my yeah. So I think the dream is for Lightning is it works like Bitcoin mining in that you like put You like get a box. It has a Bitcoin address on it. You send Bitcoin to the Bitcoin address on the. It's a black box. You plug it into the internet. It starts doing Lightning routing for you and making you money. Doing Lightning routing, like that's like the I think the dream for Lightning. And I don't. The black boxes don't exist yet, and instead it's like a very complicated piece of software that you have to sort of manage yourself, and there are automation tools, but nothing that is as dumb as a Bitcoin miner, where you literally just plug it in, you give it internet, you point it at a pool, and you start generating Bitcoin with it.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what I
not
think
there
the
yet.
ideal is. Yeah, we're not there yet, but that's the ideal for Lightning, and this kind of is directionally going that way. And maybe that'll never happen. That black box won't exist. Maybe we'll get like I think that's also what Amboss's product is sort of trying to do that, where they're like, you send Bitcoin to this address, and then you start making yield, and we do all the magic. Um, but I think that's where it'll go, and then I think it'll get pretty good. Maybe not 10%, maybe more like 5 or 2 or 3. But anything is really a lot when there's less subsidy for Bitcoin mining. And then I think you'll have very sophisticated, uh, math people, financial people who are making 10%, 20% on routing because they're just, really, really smart about it.
Yeah, and then over time, the AI would just get better and better, better data sets.
Yeah,
Um, and then at that point, you're just, I don't want to say printing money, but you know what I mean. Yeah, bullish, crazy,
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, yeah, it's good.